All right, for right now, though, we're going to bring things closer to home and talk about these warm May weekends that are getting a lot of us outside. But it's not just the humans. Black bears are also becoming regular visitors in the Hawkeye State, particularly in the Northeast. But how many bears are we seeing in Iowa? And how do you keep yourself and the animals themselves safe? For that, we turn to Vince Evelsizer, state fur bear and wetland biologist with the Iowa DNR. Vince, thank you so much for being back with us today. How many bears do we typically see in Iowa, and is that number growing?
It varies every year, but on average, we see 2 to 3 black bears in Iowa. And the number may be growing a little bit. We've noticed for sure that since 2014, we've had bears in Iowa every year.
And when you're saying we have bears in Iowa, we're not talking like dozens of bears. A few sightings here or there. I'm remembering like 2020, there was a bear that came down through Clinton County, kind of parts of Eldridge, Quad City area. We're talking a few of them.
Yeah, so the message for now is that there are not very many bears in Iowa. We don't have a breeding population. We just want to let folks know that there is a chance, that we'll have a couple bears in our state, especially during this upcoming time period here in late May and through June is when we see the most bear activity. So there's only one that we know of in our state right now, but we may see a few more here coming up.
Well, I mentioned the northeast part of the state, but more specifically, where are we seeing these bears?
So far, we've seen the most bear activity in northeast Iowa, especially the counties of Dubuque County, Alameda, Clayton, Winneshiek County, some of those areas.
And you mentioned how late May is kind of the more common time we could spot them, but could you see these bears throughout the whole summer?
Yeah, it's possible. The bears are typically pretty active throughout the whole summer. A lot of times in recent years, we've seen bear sightings really go down after the 4th of July or so. Typically, it starts getting very hot out during the day by then. So that if they are around, typically they're more active at night. And some of these bears loop back up into Minnesota and Wisconsin by the 4th of July too. So.
Well, I'm glad you brought up some of the neighboring states because I wanted to zoom out a little bit. More regionally, how are Midwest bear populations doing over the last few years?
Yeah, they're doing quite well. We're seeing a gradual expansion of the black bear to its former range throughout the U.S. So, for example, in Minnesota, the black bear population is somewhere around 13 to 16,000 black bears. In Wisconsin, the black bear population is somewhere around 25,000 black bears. So we can continue to enjoy the outdoors here in Iowa and learn to live with bears if we get more of them in the future, just like our neighbors in Minnesota and Wisconsin.
All right, so whether you see a wandering bear come down through the northeast part of the state this spring or just in the future, what do people need to know about how to stay safe around these black bears?
Usually the black bears are not too interested in people. They're most interested in food. They eat a wide variety of food. They're considered to be an omnivore, which means they eat plants and animal material. So us humans can avoid conflicts by simply putting away bear food attractants, things like bird seed and pet food, barbecue, utensils, that kind of thing. And that just needs to be done if there's a bear in the immediate area. That's not something you have to do every day, every week, this year, or anything like that.
Right on the screen right now, oh, we just had it, was a photo of one of the bear-proof trash cans in the northern part of the state. How many parks are those in?
Right now, we just worked with our DNR state parks to get just 2 bear-proof trash receptacles at Pikes Peak State Park, just as the first or the beginning, of getting folks used to living with bears. I believe Dubuque County may have a couple of bear-proof trash receptacles as well. So folks may see more of those pop up over the next few years if we see more black bears come into Iowa.
And before I let you go, Vince, really quickly, how do we make sure that the bears also stay safe besides the obvious of leaving them alone?
Yeah, a fed bear is a dead bear is one saying. So we can help bears by giving bears space and leaving them alone, and putting away those food attractants. And then also just keeping an eye out when you're driving too. We don't want to have a bear, vehicle collision. That's not safe for the bear, obviously, nor humans. So those are some basic steps.
Vince, I always appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us today.
You bet, anytime.
And if you guys at home want to share this story about black bears in Iowa, we have our online version up at WQAD.com underneath the As Seen on TV tab.